Hello and welcome to day 8 of 24 recipes till Christmas. Today we're making Bolo Rainha, which is Queen's cake. Last week we made Bolo Rei, King's cake, so it only makes sense that today we're making Queen's cake. The only difference between the two cakes is what goes inside. For the Queen's cake, we're only going to use nuts, and I'm choosing to use raisins. If you do not want to use raisins, you just use nuts in this cake. So let's go over the ingredients. For this recipe, we're going to be using some port wine. This is Donna Antonia, and it's a great bottle to give as a gift. And during the holidays, you can find it in gift boxes. We're also going to be making a sponge the same way we did for the Bolo Rei. So for the sponge, we're gonna need some flour, instant yeast, and some warm milk. We're also gonna have flour for the cake, which I've separated. We're gonna use some sugar, orange rind, butter, and an egg. We're also gonna use a mixture of nuts. I chose to use pine nuts, slivered almonds, and a mixture of walnuts and pecans. And for decoration on top, I'm using the sliced almonds, more pine nuts, whole walnuts, and whole pecans, and icing sugar for dusting. So let's get into the recipe. Bora cozinhar. So we're gonna start off by making our sponge, which just means we're going to combine some flour, the yeast, and milk to start the fermentation process. Your milk should be warm, but not over 110 in temperature. So our milk is at 104, which is perfect. It is warm, and that's what we need to activate the yeast. So I'm going to put in our milk and put in our yeast and give it a mix. And into that, I'm gonna add in our flour that I've measured out for the sponge. I'm just gonna use my hands to bring it together. So now I'm gonna cover the sponge and put it in a warm place. And I like to do that in the microwave. I went ahead and heated up some water in the microwave. And now I'm gonna put in the sponge, and it's gonna rest for an hour, and then we'll continue with the recipe. Our sponge is ready. It's been an hour, and now we're going to use our stand mixer. You could also use your hands, but I wouldn't use a hand mixer because the dough is gonna be quite heavy, and we're gonna use a dough hook attachment. Into our bowl, we're going to put our flour. We're going to put our sugar. We're gonna put our lemon zest and orange zest. We're gonna put our egg. We're going to put our port wine in. And we're gonna put in some salt and our sponge. Here's our little sponge. And now we're going to mix it on low to start. Guys, I just remembered I forgot to put in the softened butter. So I'm gonna add it in now because I was wondering why it wasn't coming together, and it's because I forgot the butter. So let's add in the butter and continue. So the dough is coming together now. See how it's formed sort of like it's all in one mass? We're gonna let it go for about 5 to 7 minutes. So it has been 7 minutes and our dough is done. See how nice and beautiful it is? You press it and it comes back. That's what you're looking for. So now into the bowl it goes. I've actually sprayed the bowl with a bit of olive oil so it doesn't dry out. I'm gonna cover it with a towel and I'm gonna put it back into the microwave where I've already heated up some water so it's nice and warm for it. And we're gonna let it rest for 2 hours until it doubles in size. So see you back here in 2 hours. Our dough has rested. It's now been 2 hours, and now we're going to add it back into our mixer. First, we're gonna take out the air, and we're gonna add in the raisins that we had soaking in the port wine, and the mixed nuts that we cut up, that we chopped up. So now we're gonna mix it all up until it's well incorporated. So our nuts have been completely incorporated into the dough. If we want, we can just use our hands to make sure that it's all well incorporated. We have to incorporate everything well. Once we feel that it's well incorporated, we're gonna let it rest for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna cover it and just let it stand here on the counter for about 20 minutes before I shape it. So it's been 20 minutes, our dough has been resting, and now it's time for us to mold our cake. So I have a cookie sheet here with some parchment paper, and here is our dough. And the easiest way to do this is to take your fingers and make a hole, and then I just like to stretch it out a bit. And any of the nuts that fall out, just press them back in. And the hole should be big enough that you can fit your fist in it, because you don't want the hole to close up, because we're gonna let it rise again for another 2 hours. So it is going to grow. So now I'm gonna cover it with a towel, and you wanna put it somewhere warm to rest for another 2 hours. And I find the easiest way to do that is in the oven. I've gone ahead and boiled some water, and I'm gonna put it in a pan under the cake, and it's gonna steam up the oven and just keep it a nice warm temperature. So I'll see you back here in 2 hours. So it's been 2 hours, and now we're ready to decorate our Bolo Rainha, Queen's cake. And before we do that, we're gonna give it an egg wash, and then we're gonna decorate it with the nuts that we have. As you can see, we had a beautiful rise. It looks fantastic, and it smells even better. So you just want to give it a light egg wash before you decorate it. So now I'm going to decorate it with our nuts, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it like an almond. I'm going to do the almonds all over, and then come back and put the other nuts in. You can press them on with the egg wash. That's going to hold the nuts in. Also the pine nuts. So now in the oven it goes at 350 for 25 minutes, and then we'll check on it. Our Queen's cake is out of the oven. It looks beautiful and it smells fantastic. I ended up leaving it in there for an extra 10 minutes. You're looking for an internal temperature of 204, which is the same as if you were cooking bread, but you can also do the toothpick test to see if it comes out clean. Now, we're gonna let it cool completely, and then we're gonna dust it with powdered sugar. Because it is already 6:30, I'll see you back here tomorrow for us to finish off our Queen's cake, Bolo Rainha. That looks stunning. Of course, because she's the queen, she has to look stunning. So it is actually the next day. I let the cake cool completely. And now we're going to decorate it with some icing sugar. You can totally do this the same day. You just have to let your cake cool for about half an hour and then do that. But for me, it was just getting a bit late, so I left it for today. So let's decorate it. So we're just going to give it a dusting of icing sugar. And if you saw my video last week of the Bolo Rei, there you are. Look how beautiful. So last week when we made Bolo Rei, we made little clumps of sugar, little mounds of icing sugar or the powdered sugar, and then we baked it. With the Bolo Rainha, we dust the sugar after it's finished baking. I also know that some people, when they make their Bolo Rei, they put the icing sugar after it's come out of the oven. My mom has always made it the way I did it, where the icing sugar goes on before you bake it. So here is our beautiful cake. Let's put it on a cake stand. And now comes the most difficult part. Let's try our cake. And look at that. Look how nice it is. So what you're looking for in a Bolo Rei is that lamination that you see here when you open it up. It should never look like an actual brioche bun or a sweet bun. You should see like this kind of lamination. And now let's do the tasting. It's perfect. It's nice and fluffy, and the taste is just so good. For people who don't like the dried fruits, this is a perfect alternative. Highly suggest you making this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as I'm posting a recipe every day in December until December 24th. Hope to see you again soon, and thanks for watching.
When the sleep is cold, I hit the